The Emperor orders for the main character and Melly to marry, and he tells the Melly that originally one of his plans is to basically strip the main character of his position and hand the position over to the Empress's nephew, the Crown Prince's cousin. But he also states the Melly can marry the main character, keep an eye on the main character, spy on the main character for him, and fully strip the main character of all the power, control, status the main character has. Like, that is his plans. Basically, give the main character's position to the Melly. And yeah, the Melly kind of is excited by this, but he's also displeased. Especially when he heard that the Emperor's original plans was to hand over the position to the Empress's nephew, who's basically useless, and it would ruin their country. But yeah. He also tells the Melly he has either a choice. Either marry the main character and slowly steal everything from the main character, or kill the main character. That is his only two choices. Obviously, the Melly's going to choose to marry the main character because he doesn't want to kill the main character. Because it's pretty kind of obvious that he does care for the main character and is in love with the main character. The main character had gone to the Emperor to kneel to the Emperor to plead the Emperor not to marry him off to the Melly, which does not work for him. He ends up horribly sick and worsens his injury, so the Melly takes him back to his palace and takes care of the main character. And main character was really unconscious, so he couldn't take his medicine. And when he got back to being conscious, he still didn't leave the Melly's palace and stayed by the Melly's side. And he refused to take his medicine. He was pretending he was taking it, and when the Melly found out that the main character was pretending to take his medicine, he did back what he was doing back when the main character was unconscious and was spoon-feeding the main character, holding the main characters in his arms tightly and spoon-feeding the main character. And I was like, oh, so cute. So cute. I also was thinking that he was gonna mouth-to-mouth feed the main character, but he didn't. But it was still super cute. Also, during the time he's staying at the Melly's palace, the main character realizes he likes giving up control. He likes giving up power. He likes not having to make decisions on his own. He likes being taken care of. He's also willing to let the Melly have control and make decisions. It's because a lot of the decisions the Melly makes are decisions the main character himself would make, or, it just feels nice to be taken care of. It likes to have someone take control because, he's been taking control almost all his life. He's been working in the military since he was 18. Like, it's nice to be spoiled and pampered. He really likes it. So we're going to talk about some flashbacks. These flashbacks happened back when the main character and Melly were teenagers, and we also find out that Melly is actually just 2 years older than the main character. I wasn't sure who was older until the flashbacks and how older they were of each other, or if they were the same age. I wasn't sure. But in the flashbacks, the main character was out with a group of his friends. This is the first time, and it's actually the first time the two meet. A bunch of girls were throwing flowers at the main character and his friends, and it was really a romantic gesture, but one of the flowers that were supposed to hit the main character hits the Melly instead. And the Melly, who was already serving for the Emperor at the time, was serving as an imperial guard, and this would have been bad. And the main character tries to hide in embarrassment, and the Melly seeks him out and gives the main character the flower that was originally supposed to hit the main character. And the symbol of this flower, which this flower was a 2 lotus flower growing on a 1 stalk, which means loving couple. This flower means loving couple. A 2 lotus flower growing on the same stalk means a loving couple. Romantic. Honestly, romantic. So the second time that the Melly and main character meet up again as teenagers isn't in a sweet situation. Basically, main character again is out with his friends. They come across a slave girl. The slave girl was working in the main character's second uncle's teacher's palace, but his second uncle's teacher was basically accused of treason. His entire family slaughtered, everyone in the palace slaughtered. The teacher in prison, he ends up committing suicide. And the girl is traveling and running away with the only surviving child. She's holding a baby in her arms. The main character and his friends decide to protect her because that's the right thing to do. They know, at least the main character knows, that the teacher was innocent, but at least definitely this child is innocent. So they're trying to protect this kid. This is when the Melly and his men show up, and the main character is trying to persuade them to get away. They're innocent. They're not, hiding her. One of his friends end up picking a fight with the Melly. They end up fighting. They sooner or later, and the main character is able to stop the fighting. They end up getting attacked by boars. They end up being chased to end up cliff, him and the Melly. And he had protected the Melly from the boars. They end up thrown off a cliff. They end up hiding in a cave and have to cross themselves through the forest to get back to the male lead's men. Yeah, it's a mess. And during this entire time, the male lead is basically pampering and taking care of the main character. Like, he holds the main character in his arms, he sits the main character in his lap, he carries the main character through the forest. He's also trying to persuade the main character out from protecting the teacher's child and the slave girl, and the main character's like, no, that's wrong, because my teacher's framed. The person my teacher was framed for protecting, which was another brother of the emperor, who again was being framed for treason, another one of his brothers. The main character's like, it's set up. It's obvious they're being set up by the emperor. Like, this is all done by the emperor. Like, he is innocent. My uncle would never do something like this and, risk his status for another person if, the person wasn't innocent. Which the male lead's not listening to the main character. They end up also, later after getting out of the forest, they end up going on a date. The male lead gifts the main character 2 presents. The main character's bow had been destroyed in his fight with the male lead back when his friend had made a scene, and the male lead gifted him a new bow, gifted the main character mushrooms because the main character wanted to eat mushrooms, but the male lead didn't let him when they were traveling through the forest together. And the main character is like, oh, this is really sweet. Well, because everything's calmed down, the male lead did warn the main character to be careful, to, not reveal that the main character's protecting the slave girl and the child. But the main character's like, I'm going to go visit her. I know where she's hiding. I'm going to visit her. And after his visit, he leaves. But he realizes he left his jade pendant, so he returns, only to discover that the male lead was there. And he thinks the male lead betrayed him, lied to him, and tricked him to find where the girl was hiding. Had sent someone to spy on the main character and show where the main character was hiding the girl and imprisoned the girl. And the main character heartbrokenly walks away because the male lead had returned his jade pendant too. The main character starts walking away, but then turns around and throws the jade pendant at the male lead, breaking it, telling male lead that whatever relationship they had, the relationship is now like that jade pendant. Their relationship don't exist no more. It doesn't exist anymore. It is gone. Because at that moment, the main character, it was the first time the main character ever been truly betrayed by someone, and his heart broken. Like, the male lead even states, I am sorry for breaking your heart, but if I had to do the same things all over again, I would do the same things, even breaking your heart. Like, acting like the male lead from Thousand Autumns. At that very scene, he was acting exactly like the male lead from The Thousand Autumns. We all know what the male lead from The Thousand Autumns is like. But yeah. But the main character finds out years later, 7 years later, at the main storyline, because we're at the main storyline again, finds out that the girl, the slave girl, and the child had never died. Like, what? The main character ends up running into her at a shop and discovers she's not dead. And he's like, what?